Thank you for joining us. I am here with Ted Thomas, who is America's tax lien and deed authority. And hey, Ted, I'll tell you what, you're not the only guy I know who invests in real estate. I've got a friend, and he talked about buy and hold real estate, which it almost sounds to me like something out of a Western movie or something like that. So can you tell me, what is buy and hold real estate? What is that exactly?
Well, that's very common, actually. Buy and hold. Think of an insurance company. What they do is they buy real estate and they pay for it, and then, matter of fact, many times they put a hole in the ground and build a foundation. Then they build a tall building, and then they fill it with tenants, and that takes 2 or 3, sometimes 5 years. And then they keep raising the rent, and as the rents go up, the value of the building rises. And then sooner or later, all the payments are made and the cash starts rolling in. And that cash rolling in pays off policyholders. When someone passes away, they had a $50,000 policy. Well, that building is generating revenue for 30, 40, even 100 years. So they buy real estate and hold the real estate. You could do the same thing with a home if you wanted to do it.
Well, let me ask, what kind of due diligence is needed for a buy and hold real estate strategy? Is it complicated?
No, it's just like buying regular real estate, except you're not going to sell it. You're just going to buy it. And once it's paid for, you're going to use that to generate cash flow. There's certain people buy investment real estate because they want accelerated, they want appreciation. So if you bought in a brand new neighborhood, what happens to a brand new neighborhood? The roads come in, then all the lawns go nice, and then some neighborhoods turn to be exclusive. Well, all the time the price is rising. Okay. Well, if the person owned a property there and it was a rental property, well, what's happening to the rents? The rents are always going up. So they like the idea of generating money. So you would want to note where you bought the real estate, as against buying, a lot of television shows and a lot of seminars that you go to at the hotels. They're saying buy fixer-uppers, paint them, put a white picket fence around it, and then sell it. That's buy and sell. That's relatively quickly. Whereas I talk about tax defaulted stuff because I want to buy for 10 to 20 cents on the dollar. So those are just 3 categories. Buy and hold, you're going to find institutional investors. It could be you. You and your family could own an apartment property and you're using the cash flow to live on. That would be buy and hold.
Okay, you mentioned some good things about the buy and hold. Could you then maybe summarize what are the pros and cons of a buy and hold property?
Well, a buy and hold property is only going to go up with whatever the market goes up. In other words, you're not going to be creating new value all the time. So if you bought fixer-upper real estate, what you're doing then is you're buying a property which might have depreciated because of bad maintenance, people haven't taken care of it, and you go in and you paint it, you clean it, you put new lino on the floor, you get them on a nice roof, you put a white picket fence. Now you're creating value. So creating value, so you might have bought the house for 150,000, and now you could sell it for 250. Wow, that'd be great. So you pay off all the costs, you created value. So there's a creative person that's in there, working with their hard labor, a young couple, husband and wife working all the time. She's got paint in her hair, broken fingernails and all that, but they're creating a value, as against someone else coming in and saying, no, I want to buy a brand new one. And then as the market appreciates so they might only be appreciating 2% or 5% or even 10% a year, whereas this other couple, they appreciated 25 or 30% because they created a lot of fix up and whatever right away. So they both work, and real estate works if you just don't get over leveraged. The people that try to buy no down payment or very low down payment, and then the market goes down, well, they wipe out. You just lose everything. So you want to try to get out of the risk business as much as possible.
Well, and I know you're in the business big time. You're big into tax liens, tax deed investing, and it seems like that could be a really excellent option, for people who are into buy and hold real estate strategies. Is that, if somebody is that kind of investor is,
Buy and hold will work in any part of real estate. If you wanted to do office buildings, you want to do apartments, you wanted to do, high-rise commercial buildings, you want to do farms, if people buy farm, they're going to buy a agricultural property. They're more than likely going to keep it 20 or 30 years. That's buy and hold. So they buy and then they pay for it and they use it as a revenue vehicle. Every time the crop comes in, for example, a citrus farmer, they're growing they're growing oranges or they're growing tangerines or whatever it is. Those citrus farmers, their big worry is what the weather is. So if the weather's always good, they harvest it. Now they make money, so they take care of their farm, but they live off of that. So that's buy and hold the real estate. So that's different than buy and fix it up, for example, and then resell it. It's much different than what I'm in. I try to buy it as low as possible, I'm trying to buy for back taxes. Then what I want to do is I want to resell it quickly. Yeah. I want to do that because I want to create value and sell it to a fixer-upper or a renovator or people like that. You get the idea.
Yeah. So is there any way that those two strategies can work together? The idea of buy and hold and the tax deed, what you're talking about?
Oh, sure. Yeah. You can do all of them together. Some people are buying and holding. For example, let's buy a property at tax defaulted. So we buy it for 20 cents on the dollar. Then you sell it for, say, 60 cents on the dollar, or don't sell it. Just go ahead and start renting it at that point. Or if you did sell it, that person could rent it. Then they would be in a buy and hold situation.
Well, I know you've been buying tax deeds for like over 30 years. You have a lot of experience in this area, Ted. And that's why you're pretty much known as a foremost authority on tax lien and tax deed investing. Do you have a tax deed investing course that, folks who are watching could take?
Yeah, I just happen to have one of those. I'm glad you asked about it. Now,
Fantastic.
I have lots of different courses on tax liens and deeds. For the average person who wants to get started, they could just go to tedthomas.com and they can find different ways to start. Now, some people don't want to make big investments because if they bought things that didn't work for them. So what I figured out some time ago is I say, go to tedthomas.com and then just choose one option. The one option is, why not take a class? And I do a class once a month. It lasts all day. It starts at 11 in the morning, goes to 5 in the afternoon, costs $47 is all it costs. Spend the whole day, and you can learn about tax liens. You can learn about tax defaulted property. You can learn about buy and hold. You can learn about rental properties. You can learn how to do installment sales. You can do all of those things in one 6-hour class. All they have to do is go to tedthomas.com, and they can choose what they want. Or if they just want a little special report. But the best way to do it, why not spend 6 hours, dedicate that day? Now, if you can't afford $47, well, you can't afford real estate either. So $47, you can really figure out an awful lot of stuff in that 6-hour period.
It sounds great, Ted. For under $50, you get a really good idea of what Ted does here, and you can really understand it. So where should they head? One more time, Ted. Where do they head to do this?
Go to tedthomas.com. Just go to tedthomas.com and then choose the one-day, all-day virtual workshop. I forgot to say that it's a virtual workshop. That means you can sit on your rusty dusty like I'm doing now, and you can watch a whole workshop. You can have a sandwich, you can have a cold drink, you can talk to your family, whatever. That thing goes all day. What would happen all day? You know a lot about real estate then, that's for sure.
Check it out. You won't be sorry you did.